Light, but I divide my talk into three portions. One is the first portion about the history of anesthesia, how it developed. It will be more interesting to the non-medical persons. And second, what are the types of anesthesia that we practice, that you must know. And of course, I allot about 5 minutes or so for the questions, because many of you might have undergone anesthesia or relatives, or you might have your own doubts about anesthesia. I am ready to clarify. Now, coming to the history of anesthesia. Now, before 18th century, that is in 1700s, there was no anesthesia, and the term anesthesia itself was not there. So that term itself was coined later. So before that, how the surgery was done is, there was only one drug, that is opium. The poppy seeds, the extract of poppy seeds is called the opium. And it contains and from which we have discovered or derived the morphine, pethidine, etc. So the crude extract of opium was given to the patient, and definitely he will be sleepy and the pain will be alleviated to a certain extent. And the surgery has to be done within that short period. And you would have seen a picture in most of the bigger hospitals. Shushruta doing surgery in the skull, and 4 persons will be holding the patients down. So we have jokingly mentioned it is what is called the amucaine anesthesia. Because we have got what is called canes, lignocaine, bupivacaine, all those things are anesthetic agents. And we call it as amucaine anesthesia. So just press the patient, hold him, and in those days the surgeon had to be very strong, very able, very skilled, and they should be fast. Because you cannot hold the patient for a long time. And another, jovially we used to mention another terminology, what is called adicane anesthesia, amucaine and adicane. Give a slap, and that fellow will keep quiet and you do the small surgery. And that was done actually. See, in those days, in 1600s and 1500s, you make the patient unconscious, you keep a almond nut over the head, and with a hammer, you bang the almond nut. The force should be such that it breaks the almond nut, not the skull. And that produces a concussion, a state of unconsciousness, and during that period you will have to operate. So these are all the techniques that were adopted, because there was nothing else was there. Now, in the beginning of the 18th century, John Priestley, you would have heard of the chemistry researchers. They isolated oxygen, nitrogen, nitrous oxide, ether, so many compounds they were experimenting, they isolated. Now, one of the agents being nitrous oxide, and later on, and now we call it as laughing gas. So when they isolated, they didn't know what the properties of the nitrous oxide, and when they inhaled for a certain time, it removed the inhibition, the social inhibitions that they got. It removed social inhibition, gave a sense of elation, and the patient feel happy, just like after liquor. And they used to have parties where they carry the nitrous oxide in Chamai's leather bag. Each one will carry the bag to the party. After the meeting is over, each one will have a puff of nitrous oxide, about 5 breaths or 10 breaths. They become elated, they enjoy, and they go out. So this is what is called the frolics, nitrous oxide frolics. And later on, ether, it's a liquid which gets easily vaporized, and that also was inhaled. And that is called ether frolics or nitrous oxide frolics. I can show you the posters in 1800.